Hello YouTube, this is Garland. I just got a question from a friend of mine. We were discussing everyday carry and get home bags and things of that nature, and he just asked me what was in my bag. So I decided to make a video to just kind of do a demo of my, I guess you could call it a bug out bag. I usually refer to it more of as a survival bag, because I use this backpack not just for bug out situations. I don't keep it sitting in the car and never touch it or anything like that. I keep it with me. I carry it around and I use it on a regular basis because I'm usually going camping or fishing or crabbing, and it's got various tools that I use on a regular basis that would just happen to be useful in a survival situation as well. You'll have to excuse the mess. I'm actually getting ready to leave Washington and go back to Kentucky. So I've got things just kind of laying in the floor while I inventory everything. So anyway, I guess we can start with the bag itself. The bag itself, I think I paid $50 for 5-6 years ago. When I first joined the Army, I was an AIT, and I went to the PX, and I saw this cool bag in the PX, and I got it. And that's just what I've been using. It's got tons of pockets, and it's crazy how much it can expand to fill more space. And if you really stuff it, you got these straps here to tie down to keep the stress off the zipper itself. So anyway, on the outside of the bag, as you can see, if you wanted to display something, you can put it in here. I have about 25 feet of 550 cord wrapped through these loops here. I've been trying to find a better way of keeping the 550 cord on here. I did just have it rolled up in a loop, but then it just got all knotted up. When I go camping, I generally put an extra magazine for my pistol in here. When I'm just running around, I don't keep anything extra because I keep one mag in my pistol. I have, on this side, there's one little tiny D-ring that came on the backpack that you can't remove without cutting this strap. And then I've got two larger, stronger D-rings that I looped through here that I use for various things, from hanging my lantern to hanging the bag to, you know, whatever. Well, these guys are, it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. So, nothing special. I didn't go looking for anything in particular. I actually got this one from our re-enlistment guy at the unit. So we'll go inside. We'll go inside the little pocket first. So this outermost pocket here, this is general first aid supplies. I try to stick with things that are at least water resistant. For example, you'll see that I have some Band-Aids, but they're all in Ziploc baggies. May not be waterproof if I submerge the bag, but you know, rain and things like that aren't going to mess my stuff up. But these are just some Band-Aids of various sizes, from the little tiny ones all the way up to the pretty good size ones. And here I have some larger gauze Band-Aid type things. I got some hydrogen peroxide, so that in the event that I cut myself, you know, you can stop infection. I actually had to do that the other day, and this thing's healing up pretty nice. Some sunscreen, some lidocaine. I actually got a pretty good hangnail one time I was out camping. It started bugging me and getting infected, and I used this to numb my toe enough to cut the toenail, or at least the infected part, out, and it turned out quite nice. Some hand sanitizer. This is just kind of general purpose stuff. You know, wash the goo off of my hands from fishing, and then you know, use this, and you're good to eat. Some toenail clips. Anti-diarrhea pills, so that in the event that you gotta drink some questionable water and you get dysentery, this will help with that. Some first aid tape, basically for, like, it sticks to itself and it's waterproof, so you use it to hold bandages and stuff on. I've got a handful of Tylenol. I've taken a few of these because I've been out camping or fishing and had gotten it overnight and gotten a headache, so I've taken a few of them. One good thing, if you decide to do this, number one, I put them inside the Ziploc baggie to waterproof them, but because I took them out of the original bottle, because I didn't want to pack the whole bottle around, I wrote down 500 milligrams acetaminophen, and I put the expiration date, because you don't want to take expired medicine. And a basic little sewing kit, so that if I rip a hole in something, you know, I can do a, you know, a bang-up job of sewing it back together until I get back home. I'm just going to leave this stuff laying out here and repack it once I'm done with the video here. And then I got the little pocket here. I don't really have much in here right now. Usually I'll keep like my little pouch with a toothbrush, some wet wipes, but I've been using the wet wipes because I've been going out quite a bit lately. The toothbrush I actually broke on accident, so there's nothing else in this pocket. And we got this guy here. And in here, I've got a little notepad so I can write, a clean spoon and fork to eat with, and a second pair of toenail clips. And here I've got some extra D-cell batteries because sometimes last time I went out, I actually took this guy with me, and it runs on these D-cell batteries. So this is a complete replacement of D batteries. So if the lantern started getting low, I could just swap them out. And some extra 3-volt batteries for my Surefire that I'll show you in a minute. So there's those. And then we go on to this pocket. Here's quite a few goodies. So in here I have earplugs, anti-fog solution for my sunglasses, because especially when it's warm outside, you know, when you keep your glasses on for a few hours at a time, you start to sweat. That sweat will actually start to condense on the lens and fog up your lenses. So I don't even remember, I paid a couple bucks for this at the PX here. It works really well, and it lasts for a while too. I used to use it downrange in Iraq too when it was 130 plus every day. You just put a drop or so on each side of the lens. Use the little microfiber bag that it comes with to wipe it all over the lens until it kind of dries up, and then you don't have to worry about your sweat condensing on the inside of your lens for a while. This is my general purpose hunting knife. This is a larger version of the one I carry with me. The one I carry with me, now everything you see here I've acquired, I bought myself. The one I carry with me is a Gerber folding knife. The blade's kind of chewed up because I've sharpened it a few times by myself and I've used it. This is the one I carry in my pocket. This is a larger, also Gerber brand, hunting knife. The sheath has straps on the bottom that you can take out if you want, and straps on the top to wrap it around your leg so it doesn't go flopping around while you're walking. Let me lay you guys down here. So there it is. That's my general purpose hunting knife. I've used it I've actually sharpened this front bit up quite a bit, and I've used it to fillet some fish, and it does a pretty good job. These are my clear lens sunglasses. They're Wiley X's, which is an Oakley brand. I use these for shooting, or just if I'm doing anything that I think, you know, would put my eyes in danger. I keep them in here because this is a hard case that it's not easily crushable, so I don't have to worry about accidentally breaking my glasses. I did actually break the tinted lenses, so I've been using some Under Armour brand sunglasses that I found because I couldn't find a replacement for these, because at the time I was in California and I wasn't going without sunglasses there. So I got some Under Armour ones. They're pretty good. I'm not, you know, dogging Wiley X or anything. It just, these happen to be the ones that I got. This is my Surefire that I got. Takes 3-volt batteries. Has a little clip here. Bright as heck. And it's got a little collar here that lets you adjust the brightness. So you can go really dim if you just want to look around, and you can go really insanely bright. So works really well, especially in dark situations. It takes 2 of those 3-volt batteries that I showed you earlier. These guys. I got one chem light, general purpose. You know, if I'm out fishing overnight and I put my fishing pole out and I go walk around to get some firewood and it's dark and I lose track where my fishing pole is, I just tie this to my rod so I can kind of keep a track of where it's at. Or for any other item that's in the dark you want to keep an eye on, you know, just a marker. This is a multi-tool. This is also Gerber. This is one of those with the little flick out pliers here. It's got various things. I mean, you could look up different Gerber tools and see what all this one's got. I'm not going to unfold everything that's in it, but just a general multi-tool. I used to carry a Leatherman, but I absolutely tore the Leatherman to pieces. I mean, it was an outstanding knife. I'm not dogging Leatherman. It just so happens that the Leatherman was the first one I broke, so now I carry the Gerber in my bag. I have a voltmeter, not so much for survival, but because, like I said, I keep this bag with me everywhere I go. And the voltmeter has come in handy because I also do some work on my car. I work on, you know, when you're taking a boat, if you have mechanical issues with the boat, it's a good idea to kind of have this guy around because you don't want to get stranded in the middle of an island and start trying to figure out, well, is the battery good? You know, I've used this on a couple of occasions, actually, to diagnose some problems. I think this ran me $20, and if you'll notice, it's got 2 wires and 3 holes. You put the black in the middle, and then you swap the hot wire to whether you want to measure ohms and see if a circuit's complete, or if you want to measure volts. And it also measures, I don't know if it'll focus here, alternating and direct current, so you can test car batteries or wall outlets in a building. And also, if it would be handy in a survival situation, if you happen upon a building and you want to plug something in and you want to know what kind of voltage is in there, test it. Wow, I've actually used that one. Some old, these are some smaller chem lights that come with a little rope. I actually got them some kind of party or Halloween party or something, and I was like, oh, these would be nifty, and I just tossed them in here. No particular reason. Some hand warmers, if it's really cold out, or you're stuck out overnight and it's cold, you know, use these guys to keep warm. Another hand warmer. Off. Because they're not so bad up here in Washington. I mean, there's bugs here and there, but back home in Kentucky, gnats and mosquitoes will eat you alive, especially in the summer. And ticks are bad too. I got Lyme disease when I was little from a deer tick, so I've been carrying off with me every time I go out in the woods, and I spray my clothes, I spray my hat, you know, because I'm paranoid. Let me see here. We got in here a whetstone, just because it seemed to fit with the rest of the stuff that was in here, but basically it's just for sharpening my knife. Got some little zip ties here. Let me pull everything out of here. So yeah, a little sharpening solution, smooth Arkansas stone and a rough whetstone there for sharpening knives. I have a regular Bic lighter here. Works pretty good. In the event that the Bic lighter is wet, I have a magnesium stone. Basically, it's a brick of magnesium with a flint on one side. You shave off some of the magnesium into your tinder, whatever you're going to start the fire with, and then you just take the dull side of your blade and you get some sparks off this flint, and the magnesium will burn, I think it's like 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit for a few seconds. So unless it's just really soaking wet, you can pretty much start a fire with whatever you want to. I actually got some iodine here. If I can get it out, it's got wax on the top, so it kind of sticks in this pocket, especially since I'm using one hand. But I'll tell you, I got iodine in a little bottle. So if you're forced to drink some water that you know has some shady stuff in it that a filter isn't going to take out, that iodine will kind of help with that. And I got some matches that I just stuck in here because I got them out of an MRE box. And in the big pocket here, big pocket generally stays pretty empty because this is where I change what's packed depending on what I'm doing. If I'm going camping, I'll stick a lantern in here and a couple bottles of water. If I'm just out for the day, I might have a bottle or two of water, but keep it pretty empty. So if I want to add something to it to carry around for a while, I can. One of the things I do keep in here all the time is I have a rain jacket and rain pants, so that if I happen to be out and it starts pouring to rain, I can put this on over top of my regular clothes and keep myself relatively dry. I got a sun hat, boonie hat. Basically, it's just a round hat with a little chin strap. Kind of keeps the sun off of your face and neck. I had these out where I was fishing the other day. 2 little Midland radios. They work really good. I had one guy on one island and I was on the other island picking up some stuff, and we were, I don't know, a mile, 2 miles apart across this little cove, and we could hear each other just as clear as day. I don't know what particular model these are, Midland GXT, but they work pretty good. I got an extra t-shirt just in case for whatever reason my t-shirt gets torn up, wet, you know, got something funky on it that I don't want to wear around. I got an extra t-shirt. I got some hunting gloves that have rubber palms, so if I need to pick something up. Now normally I've also got some work gloves with some really thick rubber palms, but I got those being washed right now. But that way, if I pull up something creepy out of the Puget Sound, I got some rubber palm gloves to pick it up with. I got a big roll of duct tape, or 100-mile-an-hour tape. You can tell it's gotten a little damp in the bottom of that bag. But this is just OD green duct tape, basically. It's good stuff. And the last thing that's in here right now is this little handsaw deal. This thing actually works. I used it the last time I went camping. I went overnight camping / fishing on the beach of one of the islands out on the Puget Sound. You'll see it's basically a chainsaw chain with little straps on the side of it there. You can put your hand through here. One thing I would recommend, though, if you use one, get a good grip and keep it in the middle of your palm. Don't get lazy and start trying to do this because you're tired, because that is what cut my finger right there. I was burning it up. It was cutting pretty quick, and then I started feeling a pain on my finger, and I had burned through the skin on that knuckle with the strap on this cutter. So just keep a good grip on it. Don't let it slide around on your fingers. But yeah, I got to repack it. But in general, that is my, I guess you could call it bug out bag, get home bag, survival bag. I usually call it a get home bag or a survival bag because I keep it with me everywhere I go, and it just so happens that a lot of the stuff I keep in it would be useful in a get home type situation. So yeah, for those of you that were asking what's in my bag, I hope this answers your question. And if you got any questions, comments, suggestions, feel free to post them below, and we'll get to them as necessary. Catch you later.